Mike McCool here with the Royal Examiner. I am downtown Front Royal on Main Street, and I'm in the Blue Ridge Art Council building, and there is a cool display going on. This is Kim. Tell us what's going on tonight and who all promoted all this.
So this is Blue Ridge Arts Council Gallery, and we have an exhibit called Beyond Superheroes. The Art of Comics and Animation. It's a long name.
I've seen Louis Moten, and he just put on there POW. So
POW. We have a bunch of POW kabams up in the front window.
Yeah.
But it's sponsored by Main Street Geek.
Right.
And lots of wonderful comic art in here.
Right.
They know really all of this is a whole other language.
Right.
But we've been looking to bring an animation or comic show to the gallery for a couple years.
Right.
And we finally found the people to help us do it.
Well, let's talk to them.
Talk to them.
All right. So how did you get, well, we know how you got involved because you're just a big kid. So tell us a little bit about some of the art we have here.
Okay, well, that's a big question in a short amount of time.
Well, we have a couple artists here as well.
Yes, we do. We'll get Drew over here in a second to talk about that. But a lot of this is a cross-section of different artwork spanning anywhere from the early 80s to the early 2000s and even...
And the present.
Some of it deals directly with comic books. Some of it is animation cells from cartoons back in our childhood. We have some artwork that is based on for toys and whatnot. But it's just to give people an idea of, the comic books they read, their beginnings. How did this get started?
The process.
The process.
Right.
Yep.
And how long will this exhibit go on?
Until June 30th, possibly beyond that.
Okay.
And we do have, other than tonight's, reception, we have other events planned. We haven't announced yet, but possibly some live drawing, appearances by artists, possibly even a live art podcast. Okay. So we'll get word out about that.
Well, of course, you need to tell us a little bit about Main Street Geek while we're here.
Main Street Geek, it's Front Royal's pop culture headquarters.
Oh, that's what we're calling it now.
Yeah, that's been our tagline the whole time. But no, we've been here, it's going on 4 years now, and comic books are a big thing for us now. We brought that to Front Royal because we felt like that's something that was missing.
Sure.
We do toys, collectibles, Lego, and other stuff. But it was just, to add a little spice to Main Street.
Right.
A little spice, a little geeky spice.
I noticed you were talking to a gentleman over here that you said he owned these drawings right here. So let's take a look at that and see what we have here. What the history of these here are. Introduce us to your new friend.
This is Thomas.
Yep. Hi. I'm Thomas Monk. These are part of my permanent collection. Here I've got some Timothy Green from his run on Guardians of the Galaxy. A nice splash page. And then here is a Nick Darrington pencil from his Doom Patrol run with Gerard Way.
How do you get hold of things like this? Because this is like before it's ever published, right?
Yeah. So usually I contact their dealer or I contact the artist directly.
Okay.
And then we just kind of make a discussion of how to pay for it or anything like that. So pencils are here, and then I've got Tom Fowler's inks over top of that. So Nick Darrington drew this, scanned it, sent it to Tom, and then Tom inked over top of that.
Okay.
And then here I've got a prelim for a cover that Nick Darrington did for one of his issues.
All right. So how did you get into this type of collection?
Where I started with comics, and then there were certain pages that I liked. So then I started taking my time to reach out to people or see how to get those because I just wanted them on my wall. It's a nice, expensive collection, but it's a good thing for me, I guess. Yeah.
Is there value in these things?
I'd say so. I'd say it's a lot of whatever value that group of people puts into it, because there's highs and lows. But for me, there's personal value. So I
it's kind of cool to own almost a piece of history, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
Especially from a kid.
And I agree with that. It's a one of one as well. So
right.
I like that.
That's the other thing. Yeah, there's not 100 of them laying out there or 1,000.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, that's what puts the value on it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think there's another artist here too, right?
All right. Drew Edward Johnson, if you could step in here for a second. We've got a couple of his pieces right here. and I'll let him explain to you about
All
them.
right.
Okay. Let's see. This top piece is a splash page from Godzilla Aftershock. Thank you. I'm with you.
Well, I did it for somebody. That's what you have to remember.
This is the first appearance of a new in-canon monster. Because Legendary actually, whenever they do the graphic novels, they're all in canon with the movies.
Right.
So, yeah, this guy blows up out the center of the earth and, rains
There's a
havoc
lot of
everywhere.
detail in there.
That
How long
one-
does it take for you to create something like this?
It took a good bit, and I had to do a lot of consulting back and forth because, when you're working on licensed stuff like
Right.
that, and it was a movie company, they want to see and know everything.
Oh, yeah.
every-
And the details, it all makes a difference. 'Cause
Yeah.
As soon as you make a change and then 5 years later it's in the movie, oh, we forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, totally. There's actually a statue that's been made of it, and it's still even a little different than, what
yeah,
this
yeah.
was. But it's really close. It's really
Yeah?
cool.
All right, what's this one on the bottom here? It looks like a...
Yeah, this is a book called Ghost from Dark Horse Comics in Portland, Oregon. And it's, honestly, I don't really understand the character very much. I never, the book was kind of coming out and then not, and then coming out and then not. But I got brought onto it to help out the original artist, who is an incredible artist named Ryan Sook. He's a big artist at DC Comics that I totally love, so it was a real joy to get to work.
Do these artists do, once they get, we'll use the word famous, or in working in big corporate, do they really do all this themselves? Is their name on everything, or they got like ghostwriters, ghost dryer
No,
drawers?
pretty much everybody's doing all their work.
Yeah?
Like Jim Lee's a good example. He's like the biggest name comic artist in the world. Well, not in the world, I mean Japanese
Sure.
people. But he is also a president of something at DC Comics, and he's still drawing all of his books.
Yeah.
So, it's... Yeah, it used to be, there was a lot of ghost work in the 70s and 60s, but now there's really not so much.
So how did you get involved in all this? Was this a childhood passion?
Yeah, I grew up.
Did you ever think you'd make a living doing this, or what?
I mean, I hoped, but it's kind of up, it's down. But,
Good days and bad days.
Yeah.
It's like everyone that's an entrepreneur. That's what happens, right?
Yeah.
You got good months, bad months, and better months, right?
That's exactly it.
We're always happy for the next month. It'll be better, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I've gotten to work on some amazing things. I drew Wonder Woman comics for almost 2 years. Actually, more than that, because I've done a ton of Wonder Woman stuff. And Supergirl at DC, and I've even got to draw Batman, Spider-Man, like Fantastic Four.
Kind of cool though when you get the actual printed thing and you see your name down there in it. I mean, that is kind of nice. It's like a byline where your artist gets to sign it.
Yeah, I have a quick funny story. I did a Fantastic Four special with my friend Carl Kiesel, who wrote it, and I had just proposed to my wife, and I gave her my grandmother's wedding ring because we met at my grandmother's funeral. And
It's a good place to pick up chicks, and right?
right? And Carl, I told Carl the story, and he loved it so much he incorporated it into Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman's marriage story. And so there's a big shot panel of Karen's hand that I carefully referenced,
Right.
and the ring as he's putting the ring onto her hand. And it's actually canon now that Reed Richards' grandma is what brought them together too.
That's kind of a nice legacy to kind of
It was really
pass on
cool.
the story. That is kind of cool. That's
yeah,
kinda cool.
it was really great.
Well, let's see what we can. We'll finish this thing up here. So we're going to be here for at least another month.
At least.
So we'll have plenty of time to come in. I see all sorts of. You got like say pen and ink, and you got actually finished.
Yes, sir.
Cells
Yeah.
and stuff.
I wanted to mention, we're right by these two pieces here are by Matt Wagner, who was a graduate of Warren County High School.
Well, there you go.
Yep, he was student body president before he
He was
graduated.
senior class president.
Senior class president. And he actually has some drawings in some of the old newspapers from the school, too.
Yeah, he had from what we're told, like a comic strip in the paper.
And he currently lives in Oregon now.
Yeah.
and he was kind enough to let us borrow a couple pieces for the exhibit.
It's kind of cool, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because I know we have quite a few in this industry is several people that are local that write books, they do illustrations, and I come to mind as Ben Hackey, I love his work. We printed some stuff for him, but it's so cool, and there's 2 or 3 others as well, and regular book authors, and very talented people, musicians. We got musicians coming out our ears around here.
Yeah, I know.
There's
It's
talent
great.
everywhere.
I mean, for such a small town to have so much talent here.
Yeah.
So-
Well, and now you see it. We have organizations downtown that are making venues for live music.
Yeah.
Might just be 1, 2, 5-piece bands, but it's great
Yes,
to get
it
people
is.
out there and things like this. I think the Blue Ridge Arts Council is kind of underappreciated. It puts on a lot of things and tries to give a platform for our local artists.
I mean, without them, we couldn't do this.
Yeah, we
They
don't
got
have the
such a
room.
nice space too.
Yes.
I see Louis over there. I don't know Louis Moten. He's kind of big into he's one of your good customers.
He
isn't
is.
Yes.
He's a regular.
See them all the time.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you talking to us. We'll get this story done. We'll follow up later. If something's happened, you keep us posted, okay?
All right,
will.
thanks, Mike.
All right,
we
thanks a lot.
appreciate it.
Thank you.